It's game time for fall romance, and it's time to step onto the field of love like never before. Today, we've got the one and only astrologer and psychic healer, Jill Jardine, to guide us through the cosmic plays of the season. Autumn isn't just about the falling leaves, it's about falling head over heels too. As the season changes and temperatures drop, many are looking to heat up and are searching for a cozy companionship. That's right, it's cuffing season. Are you ready to find a new flame as the cold weather blows in? Well, grab your scarves and get your sweaters and pumpkin spice lattes ready, because love is in the air. I'm Kerry Brett, and Shot at Love starts now. Jill Jardine is an astrologer, therapist, psychic healer, and spiritual advisor. She's also a former radio personality on WATD 95.9 and the host of the podcast Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine. She's also a reverend in Sanskrit mantra, and chanting mantras can shift outcomes and is a powerful tool. For over 30 years, she's helped thousands of people find power and confidence within themselves and help with important decisions. If there's anyone who can unveil the celestial roadmap of love for the fall of 2023, it's Jill Jardine. So without further ado, welcome, Jill.
Hey, Kerry. So glad to be back on Shot at Love.
I'm really excited about fall.
Same here.
I'm ready for a change. I'm a fall girl, though. I love fall. I'm all about it.
Well, fall's going to be very, very different astrologically and planetarily than the summer. I don't know if you heard, but we just came out of the summer of retrogrades. There were 6 planets retrograde, including also the asteroid Chiron, the wounded healer. And so this is really big news as we start the fall, because Venus was retrograde for most of July and all of August, and will be emerging from her retrograde cycle on the 3rd of September, going direct in the sign Leo, which is going to help everybody out with love and romance.
That's good to know. I don't know what happened this summer, but it was definitely a lot of fits and starts, and people were kind of all over the map. Every person that I've talked to just said it was like a weird summer.
Yeah, it was. And here in New England, we didn't have the best weather, but it did fly by. People are still in disbelief that the summer is over and that we're going into another season here.
All my mothers are frantic because everyone's trying to get the seniors photographed and get their kids off to school. And there was the weird weather. There was so much rain. There wasn't enough nights out with friends. There wasn't enough dates. There wasn't enough fun, really.
Right. I would say that the retrograde planets got in the way of that, especially the Venus retrograde. She was retrograde in Leo, and so there was a lot of people thinking about how they might like their summer to be. And as far as relationships, I know an awful lot of relationships ended this summer. And if ones were just kind of eking along, the death knell did ring for these relationships. A lot of people can no longer be with somebody that is not at their level or vibing the same energy. And so a lot of realizations and waking up with Venus retrograde had people look forward and say, I don't want to continue this. I don't want to continue this pattern of attracting this type of person. I don't want to be with the person I'm with because they're not changing. And quite frankly, I'm bored. There was a lot of that too. People feeling very bored and fed up with the same old, same old. And a retrograde Venus will do that. And so it goes direct on September 3rd, but we also have been in a Mercury retrograde cycle since the 23rd of August, and Mercury goes direct on September 15th. So here we have this theme of false starts and stops where people can't seem to really get a groove on. So after mid-September, I think we should be in a good place with connecting thanks to Mercury, making connections, getting back on those apps, or following through, meeting people in person. I think that's going to be a big thing with Mercury going direct this fall and Venus in Leo for all of September going direct. Put on your bling and those bright colors, those fall colors, and get attention. Venus actually likes pastels, but Venus wants to be seen in Leo, and she's not going to backtrack like she did in the summer where she was going direct and then it was like stop, go backwards. So she sort of got defaulted, and now she's full speed ahead for the whole fall.
You said that a lot of your clients were telling you that a lot of people kept repeating old patterns and they couldn't break these dysfunctional patterns in a sense. This was also the common theme of last fall, where people were tired of being in a relationship for financial reasons. You had predicted that last fall too, that there would be a lot of breakups.
Right. And the other thing that happened astrologically over the summer, concurrent with Venus retrograde in Leo, the nodes of the moon change signs. And the nodes of the moon are sort of the karmic axis in astrology. So there's a south node, and it changed into Libra, sign of relationship, ruled by Venus. And the north node is now transiting Aries for 18 months. That shifted in mid-July. What does that mean? Well, personally, Libra South Node means that people are looking at past relationships, what's going to stay, what's going to leave. And then the Aries North Node is very selfish. Aries is me in astrology, and Libra is the other. So where the South Node, where we've been, is with the other, and the North Node in Aries is where we're going. A lot of people are going to be like, hey, I've got to take care of myself. Hey, I might want to be alone. Hey, I want to self-actualize. This relationship is pulling me down. This relationship is interfering with what I want to do, my goals, my purpose. I want to be really self-realized, self-actualized, and getting to the best me. And it's fire. So Aries North Node is fire. People want that passion in life. They want something to be inspired and get excited about. So we're going to see, and Aries can be more about like war or fighting, and Libra is about peace and compromise. So we're going to have that contrast of the Libra-Aries polarity affecting us collectively in our society, but also everybody personally. And then if you throw into the mix, if you have Libra anywhere in your chart, any planets in Libra or any planets in Aries, personally, people are going to be very affected by this shift of the nodes over the next 18 months.
The good news is that Venus, the planet of love, transits through the rest of the year. Why is that a great thing for people dating?
So let's break it down for the next 4 months. We have Venus going through Leo until October 8th. This is excellent. People are going to put themselves out there. They're going to be like, again, a fire sign. They want to live in the moment. They don't want any missed opportunities. So people may be bold, aggressive. Look at me, says Venus in Leo. And then from October 8th to November 8th, Venus goes into Virgo, which may be a little bit more analytical, kind of like looking at situations, maybe a little more practical, not as bold, a little bit more, well, let me suss this out. Let me, weigh the pros and cons. So that may be a little bit more reticent for Venus in Virgo. And people may have other things like work. Virgo's a work sign getting in the way. So people may not be as available in some ways from October 8th to November 8th. But then Venus goes to her home court Libra from November 8th to December 4th. And this is a very good relationship cycle. Venus rules Libra. We're going to have the South Node there in Libra. This also may be an interesting time where people come into your life that you feel a soul connection to, or if there was a missed opportunity previously, you may connect with somebody from your past, not the same way as a Mercury retrograde, but in like a whole new rediscovery. So that goes on November 8th to December 4th with Venus transiting Libra. And then Venus goes into Scorpio for December, from December 4th to December 29th. And things get really serious. And the sexual energies are turned way up with Venus and Scorpio. So whatever were flirtations earlier in the fall become more intense as we get into December, but that would make sense too, because it's like you need to have that date, that partner for the holiday festivities. Just don't give up the candy too fast with Venus and Scorpio in December.
Okay, so you're talking to someone who's so impatient, and You believe that we have the power of pulling in another person. You could bring in someone you maybe should have met before, but you didn't. With a new season, that comes new energy. So if you work the energy right, you can raise your vibration to bring in new opportunities.
Absolutely.
And you do it all the time. And I've done it.
Right, but I feel like you have to be aligned with it. I mean, a lot of people get distracted in life and they're like, oh, I've got this other issue I've got to deal with, or, oh, I have to, make more money. I have to focus on my career and my job. But when someone comes into that alignment, by alignment, I mean, you want to bring in a new relationship, you've healed some past patterns, or you've kind of gotten rid of some of the old relationships, or you haven't recycled, which Mercury retrograde, by the way, is famous for recycling relationships and hearing from past relationships. I heard from somebody 30 years ago, 29, 30 years, it was a Saturn return cycle. In astrology, it's every 29 years. I get a text out of nowhere from somebody I dated 29 years ago who I really didn't want to hear from, but I was laughing because it's like Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde, Saturn return of when I dated this person, and here he is texting right on astrological timeline. So I just was like, hey, I know why you're hitting me up. And I gave all, and this guy was an astrologer too. So, but it was kind of amusing how the universe does that. But as I was saying earlier, it's really about getting into divine alignment with yourself, with the idea of partnership. Also, I always say it's really kind of fun in the fall, especially maybe visualize what kind of activities you want to be doing with a partner, i.e. hiking in the woods or sitting in front of a fire pit, drinking a hot toddy, or any other fall-like activity like picking apples or pumpkins. So see yourself having a nice fall experience with your partner, your new date partner. And just, as I said, never envision what the person's going to look like. Just see that tube of white light.
I like that. I think you've got to just put away the excuses. So sometimes in the summer, it's like, it's too hot. I don't feel like doing it. Now the weather is going to be, hopefully, they're predicting a good fall. So that makes me happy. And I just think, try to do things that you normally wouldn't do. It's a new season.
Right. That's always a good suggestion. Go out and see things. I mean, we're going to have outdoor time still. There still might be outdoor concerts. There still may be ways to connect with people in outdoor venues. So definitely do that. And again, September and October, the planets are definitely working with that. Mercury, the planet of connection, has been retrograde, will go direct on the 15th of September. And it goes direct in Virgo, September 15th to October 4th. That's kind of taking care of business, catching up on things maybe that have to do with work. But then Mercury is going to be in Libra for all of October. And that's an excellent cycle for connecting, for having fun. Libra likes to play. Libra likes fun and frolic. So when Mercury goes through Libra during October, it's a really good time to try something new, try something where other people can come with you, even go out with friends. Don't be a loner during October. Definitely any social opportunity that arises, go for it. Mercury in Libra will give you the oomph and the push to do it. And then Mercury goes into Scorpio October 22nd through November 11th, just in time for Halloween and Samhain and the Day of the Dead and All Souls Day. So that's going to be really fun for all those Halloween-y like activities and going to psychic fairs and other scorpionic retreats and pursuits. So that should be really, really fun with Mercury going through Scorpio at the end of October through November 11th. And by the way, these planets don't do these visitations the same every year. So some years you're not going to get Mercury going there in Scorpio during Scorpio season, which is Halloween season from October 21st through November 21st is the Scorpio sun season. September and October look really, really good for making connections. And the other thing I should probably address in September and October, we'll get to November and December in a bit, are the full moons and the new moons. So we have a new moon on September 14th in Virgo, which is kind of good to get yourself in order. get your physicality in order. Go on those health regimes, go on those diets, try those new supplements. Take care of your physical body, your appearance. Get new clothes. I mean, Virgo new moon wants to clean up your act. So around the mid-September, this is a good time to do it. And the next day, Mercury goes direct on the 15th. We have the fall equinox on the 23rd. So we officially come into fall here in the northern hemisphere on September 23rd. And the sun goes into the connection relationship sign of Libra. On September 30th, it's a full moon in Aries with the sun in Libra. So again, it's a really good time to connect. And then when we get into October, we're going to have eclipse season.
Wow.
Wah, wah. But there's so many other good transits going on. But let me just let your listeners know that we're having a new moon solar eclipse in Libra on October 14th. So the thing about solar eclipses is it may eclipse anything you're trying to do around that time. Most new moons are an excellent time to start something new, not if it's being eclipsed. It may get delayed. So if you meet someone around mid-October, wait, and see what happens. Don't be quick out of the gate when something's being eclipsed. And then we have an eclipse at the end of October. On the 28th of October, we have a full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio with the sun in Scorpio and the moon in Taurus. That could be a little bit scarier.
That one sounds horrific.
Yeah. Right in time for Halloween. So full moon lunar eclipse. So that could be a little bit of a warning around that time to tread lightly and watch out for those werewolves out there.
Talk to me about the full moon at the end of September.
Full moon in Aries is like, let's go, 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 go. And then the sun will be in Libra. So I think people will be motivated around that to try new things, to go and not miss opportunities. And Aries gives a lot of oomph and fire. There'll be a lot of passion around that time. So it's the harvest moon.
Oh, right.
Like the Neil Young song.
I was just going to say that.
Eat, Pray, Love, remember?
It's a great song. You spoke about Mercury, and Mercury is a planet of communication. That's good when you're starting new communication with new dating prospects. What's happening with Mercury?
Great question, because we're going to come out of Mercury retrograde in Virgo on September 15th. It's going to go forward in Virgo until the 4th of October. Then, as I said, it's going to go through Libra, October 4th to October 22nd. Excellent time to connect. It will go through Scorpio, October 22nd to November 11th. Then it goes into Sagittarius, which is always fun and social, November 11th through December 2nd. So the whole Thanksgiving season, Mercury's transiting fun time Sag. And then it's going to go retrograde on December 14th to December 24th in the sign Capricorn. And it will go all the way back to Sagittarius from December 24th through January 1st, 2024, when it goes direct. So recap, last Mercury retrograde cycle of 2023, and it will be the 4th. So we've had quite a few. We started the year with one, and we end the year with one, and we had two sandwiched in between. And interestingly enough, they were all in earth signs, which is really about getting your house in order, your physicality, your financial life, your body, all those things that are earth plane related. So the last Mercury retrograde of 2023 is December 14th through January 1st, 2024. So that's going to throw a little whammy into the Christmas holiday and end of year holiday festivities. And I'll tell you right now, I'm not taking a plane anywhere over Christmas this year.
Wow. That's just what you feel.
I feel it. And then, we hear all this stuff about there's not enough flight controllers. There's not enough crews on the planes. The airlines don't have enough personnel, basically. So throw that into a Mercury retrograde mix.
Right.
It's a perfect storm.
Okay, so the fall, we're not going to have to deal with any retrograde phases until December. Is that what you're saying?
Of Mercury, right. We'll still have some other planets retrograde, but they're not the personal planets like Mercury, Venus, Mars, all going direct. We're going to have some major planets go direct too during the fall. Pluto will go direct on October 10th, which is going to reveal things. It's not so much affecting personal situations, more our collective. A lot of revelations coming forth. Could affect financial markets for sure. I'm a little worried about October with financial markets between Pluto going direct and those eclipses in the second half. Saturn's going to go direct in Pisces on the 4th of November, which actually should be a good thing as well. We're going to have Neptune going direct on December 6th. So these are all outer planets. They don't affect people personally as much, but all those dates, pay attention to what's going to be showing up in the news. That's the 10th of October, the 4th of November, and the 6th of December. We got one every month, a major planet going direct, which tends to bring out big news for the collective.
How great would it be to find the love of your life, the man of your dreams? Do you believe online dating would work if you had the right tools to be successful? Well, I have exciting news. I've created your Best Shot at Love Masterclass. I cannot wait to share with you what's worked for me in my life and for many of my clients that have helped over the years. If you enroll in this class, you have a winning mindset and believe in getting help before you start something new. If you're ready to see changes in your dating life and want to take action, check out my free webinar at shotatlove.co. If you decide you're going to choose another path, that you're worth it, and you're willing to enroll in the masterclass, you can also register at shotatlove.co. I designed this masterclass specifically for you to be successful. Please know that everything you're going to learn in these 9 modules and 6 coaching calls has been carefully curated for you so you can gain the success you truly want. I will be there for you the whole time. In the meantime, I wish you all the success, and I can't wait to hear about your story of finding love. I'm Kerry Brett, and I will be your mentor and friend through this incredible journey. The fall is always action-packed.
Right. I mean, I'm just so excited that we've got Venus going direct in Leo for September, kind of kicking off the fall season. Then we've got some nice Mercury transits through October into November. We talk about Venus, the planet of love, but what about Mars?
Right.
The planet of sex.
So what did we not have with Mars last year that we have this year?
Oh, yeah. Well, Mars had a very long retrograde cycle, which started in August and went until early 2023. So August of 2022. Mars was retrograde in the sign Cancer, which was kind of a wah-wah for relationships. It really didn't allow as much to happen. This year, we've got Mars going through relationship planets. From August 27th to October 12th, Mars is going through Libra. That's really going to put that fire into connection and connecting. Mars is like, I'm a heat-seeking missile finding a partner. And so Mars is going to be very, very inspired to make connection and to make relationship for all of September until October 12th. And then Mars is going to want to get down to business when he goes into Scorpio from October 12th to November 24th. Scorpionic business.
I love that. So let's talk about this lineup in September and October. If you're hesitant and you're listening and you are kind of down on your luck as far as dating apps and you just might not want to get back in the game, why should they?
Well, first of all, we're coming out of that summer of retrograde where we had the false starts, and it was like there were some shiny objects, but then they never came forward. So the fall, the planets are really motivated for connection and relationship, and they're literally pushing you out the door. Don't stay home. Go out and find a fire pit and someone to drink with, or go out to a fire pit, even if you go by yourself at a restaurant, and connect with people. And these connections, you can connect with people. They don't have to be like a partnership necessarily or a potential date. Go out and socialize with people, because with Venus, Mercury, and Mars all having transits through Libra, the sign of connection, you could meet new friends who could then introduce you to somebody. It's really about opportunity and about being social. Libra's a very social sign.
And also the other thing that we haven't talked about that pushes people is cuffing season.
Dun, dun, dun. Cuffing season brought to you by Mars in Scorpio and Venus in Scorpio.
Okay, so cuffing season is psychological, biological, and scientific. And the data shows that when the temperatures drop and the days become darker, people are looking, I don't even want to say the word lockdown, but they're looking to settle down and they're looking for a more serious relationship rather than a fling in the summer.
Right. And Mars going through Scorpio is really going to mobilize towards cuffing season from October 12th to November 24th. It's like, okay, enough of the niceties. Let's share things. Scorpio is all about sharing. Let's share resources. Let's be sexual. Let me stalk you. No, that's more Venus in Scorpio, which is going to be happening in December. But Mars in Scorpio wants to get down to business of, okay, we've made it through the initial courting part of our relationship. Now let's get to business. When are you going to move in with me?
So do you think last September and October is going to be different this fall?
It's going to be very different because, like I said, Mars was going through Cancer, which is like, not so much about relationship, more concerned about home and family, very emotional, psychological, as can be Mars and Scorpio. But Scorpio is about coupling. The two signs that are very concerned with coupling, I mean, every sign is, but if we want to break it down, it would be Libra, because it's ruled by Venus, and Scorpio, ruled by Pluto. Scorpio wants deep connection, psychological connection, sexual connection. Libra wants fun and romance. And all three personal planets, Venus, Mercury, and Mars, are going through those two, which didn't happen last year.
That's very interesting to me. Let's just say that you're single and you're ready to approach a new relationship. What kind of astrological aspects should we be aware of? Are there any particular signs that may have a more challenging time?
All right, you know what? This is a good idea to go through each zodiac sign and kind of what they can expect. I'm going to start, though, with Leo, okay? Leo, you were put on hold all summer. Venus was retrograde in your sign. However, the Sun and Mercury went through. But Leo, if you felt that you were thwarted in your attempts to socialize, meet somebody, have fun, it's full speed ahead in September. So Leo, you should have a great September and start it up in September and let it continue. Get your groove back and go through the rest of the fall. Virgo is actually being benefited by the personal planets going through their sign. We've got Venus going through there in October 8th through November 8th. We've got Mercury going direct September 15th and then going through the rest of Virgo, September 15th through October 4th. You're getting some help there, Virgo. Just don't get absorbed by work and other issues. It's a very good dating time and connection time for Virgo. So get out there, especially right out of the gate here in September. Then we've got Libra. We have been singing your praises, lovely Libra. This is your time to shine. You haven't been getting much love from the planets. The South Node is actually going through your sign. So we're going to see what we call stellium, which is more than one planet in Libra, especially at the end of September into October. So Libra, you're very much favored for relationship and dating and all of everything that you love that you've been waiting for. It can come to you, Libra. Scorpio, same with you. These planets are going through your sign. We're going to have Mercury go through your sign October 22nd to November 11th. We've got Mars going through Scorpio October 12th through November 24th. So you kind of hit your stride maybe in mid-October throughout the rest of the year because you've got those personal planets going through. And, I think you're going to have some luck with money and love, Scorpio. So go for it and don't hold back. Just don't be too intense out of the gate. Sagittarius, Sag, you got some luck here because we've got Venus going direct and fellow fire sign Leo sending flames of love and romance your way, Sag. And then you actually do hit your speed too at the end of the year because you've got the sun going through your sign in late November through December. And then you're going to have Mars go through your sign in November as well. Sag, it's a good time for you. Now we're going to get to some of the signs that may be a little bit more challenged. Capricorn, I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer, but you probably will do very good in September with the support of Mercury and Virgo, but you might be a little bit challenged in some ways because of a square coming from all the Libra planets. So Capricorn, slow and steady wins the race, and keep going despite any obstacles or blockages. Aquarius, woohoo! It's a free-for-all. You've got all that love coming from all the Libra planets by what we call a trine. So you're going to be out of the gate and looking for love in all the right places. And there's a lot of like inspiration and interesting conversation, which you love, Aquarius. So go for it. Pisces, Saturn is retrograde in your sign until November 4th. So you may feel like you're on hold, especially in September. You're going to have all that Virgo energy opposing your sun. So Pisces might be a little bit more introspective at the beginning of the fall, but then you'll get your turn when we come into Scorpio season and those planets transiting Scorpio. All that water love coming from fellow water sign Scorpio will show you some healing and some romance and some depth connection, perhaps, Pisces. You love that. Aries, you're rocking it. You've got the love coming in from Venus going direct in Leo in September. Don't forget the North Node's going through your sign, but you want to ignite new sparks. You may be getting bored with the same old people, with a relationship you've been in. Aries, just don't be too rash or impulsive in letting people go. Taurus, slow and steady wins the race. Taurus, you've got to get out of your comfort zone. You should definitely take opportunities to go out and about. Try not to be so stuck in your ways. Breaking old patterns is very important for you. But you'll get some love from fellow Venusian ruled sign Libra. Venus is going to be very happy this fall season and will throw you some love. Gemini, fun, frolic, festivities all up your aisle, courtesy of fellow air sign Libra, throwing you some love. You're going to be all a Twitter and so happy to get out and socialize. And you may have a couple options available to you. Well, you like that, don't you, Gemini? You always need two of everything. But this should be a fun season for you. Cancer. So you had some fun this summer, maybe more than most of your star mates, because the inner planets all went through your sign, the sun, and Venus was going through your sign in June and early July. Mercury went through your sign. So you had some fun maybe in June and July. You know, you'll get your groove on when all the planets start shifting into Scorpio in late October into November. You should have some really nice love connections happening. And I think that rounds out the zodiac. We started with Leo and end with Cancer.
I love that. It's amazing that you can just do that off the top of your head. That's pretty impressive.
I've been working as an astrologer professionally for over 30 years. So this is what I eat, sleep, and channel.
You had mentioned before we decided to do this episode that you had a new love mantra. We should end with that because I think that's a good way that you can set your intention and then also raise your vibration and your energy field to be a magnet.
You know what's really good about this mantra I'm going to share, the Sanskrit mantra? It works for both men and women. Sometimes when we've shared them, it's for women finding a man or a man finding a woman. This one is multifaceted. It's for women wanting a good relationship with a man or a woman, a man wanting a good relationship with a woman or man. And it also has another result of healing an existing relationship that just needs a little help. And so the mantra is to Parvati, who is the wife of Shiva. So Shiva is the divine masculine energy of consciousness, and Shakti, in this particular mantra, a Parvati mantra, wife of Shiva, is the divine feminine, which is love. So we combine the two, consciousness of Shiva, the divine masculine, with the love of Shakti, the divine feminine, with this mantra. And I'll say it a couple times. Reem, Shreem, Kleem, Parameshwari, Swaha. 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 And Kerry, you know mantras, so you might know why this one is powerful.
The reem and the shreem?
Right. It has seed sounds, and seed sounds are very powerful in Sanskrit. Reem for the Sacred Heart. Shreem for the goddess Lakshmi, goddess of love and abundance. And Kleem, the seed sound for attraction. So we have all three of those. Reem, Shreem, Kleem, Parameshwari, Swaha. You can also just do any one of those, Reem, Shreem, or Kleem, as a mantra. Repeat it 108 times. Reem, 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 or Shreem, 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 or Kleem, which is the principle of attraction. Kleem, Kleem, Kleem. So have some fun with that mantra.
That sounds amazing. I love that, Jill. You're so much fun. I love when you do the chants on the show. It resonates with me so much. It's been such a game changer for me in so many ways. And I hope it resonates with someone listening today. So, Jill, where can people find out more about you and listen to your show?
So my podcast is at all major podcast platforms, including Apple, Google, Buzzsprout, Spotify. Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine. Check us out. We do planetary updates every month. When there's a special planetary activity going on, there'll be a podcast. But I've been having really, really good guests who are leaders in the consciousness movement, and they're teachers, and they're phenomenal with their teachings that come through on these podcasts. So definitely check out Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine and book a session with me. Go over to JillJardineAstrology.com. I'm actually offering an astrology Zoom course starting in October of 2023. It's a 6-week, 6-module Zoom class to learn how to be more intuitive and learn the basic archetypal energies of astrology. So really, if you already know something about astrology, you're new, or you're professional, it's going to really help fine-tune some of these tools.
I love it. All right. Well, thanks so much, Jill, for being here. This was fabulous.
Thank you for having me, Kerry. Always a pleasure and so much fun at Shot at Love.
And for now, this week, Shot at Love dating tips that are inspired by our guest, astrologer and psychic healer, Jill Jardine. Number 1, fall in love this fall. The planets have your back. Number 2, Venus in Leo says shine your love light. Don't limit yourself, be open to new experiences, and do your best to be as social as possible. Number 3, take advantage of all the connection planets, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, because they're all visiting relationship signs unlike previous years. It's game on, and it's not too late to launch your love life in 2023. I hope you found some of my tips helpful this week. This is what Shot at Love is here for, to help you find love. Keep up the commitment to yourself and commit to helping someone else by sharing this podcast. Stay safe and stay tuned for more episodes. And if you like this show, please subscribe and leave a 5-star review. I'm Kerry Brett, and we'll see you next time.